Now, on the line, I have my secret ingredient. But before I do my secret ingredient, I have one thing I need to do. And I would hear multitasking, I almost messed up. So let me give you the pre-live segment just before I bring in my secret ingredient. Thank you for being patient with me, secret ingredient. 1 second, let me do pre-live. And for those of you who don't know, pre-live is a segment that I bring to you each and every Saturday in the Saturday Stew, courtesy of Red Fox. So, for pre-live, catch this.
This one is dedicated to my neighbor Anne. Reggae Global Radio, Red Fox, Kevin Steele. Straight across the street, on the corner to my right, was this little old sweet. Oh God, she had a fight. 95 years of age, and I was exceptionally bright. Good eyesight, good ears, still driving all in tight. She outlived out all our peers. It was such a delight to see her climb up them stairs. Was just an amazing sight. We interacted a lot and spoke about life. She says she'll never stop until the day that she dies. As I listened and spoke such words from the wise, could tell she was no joke. Could see the fire in her eyes. About 5 feet, a giant. Anytime she rise, 27 surgeries, but it ain't no surprise. She was a fighter like a gangster. She took so many knives. Still live to tell the tale, which hope I'll save lives. You're in heaven now, my friend, away from all the knives. Rest in peace until then, full joy the paradise. I got the message that you sent. Your son-in-law is so nice. He said you love the time we spent. Rest in peace in Christ. Pray love. Yes, my people, check out I Red Fox on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Steele, where I'll give you a pre-life, brand new, good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance song. You hear that?
You hear that? Ladies and gentlemen, that was pre-life. Hey, AK, how you doing? Alright, so, back to the business. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment I call the secret ingredient. You never know who is going to be jumping in the Saturday Stew on Reggae Global Radio until this time when I introduce them. And for your listening and some of your viewing pleasure, I introduce to you the one and only, none other like her, exceptional in every way. And you're going to find out tonight if you don't believe me. Those of you who know her, you know it's true. Marcia J. Ball. Look at her just grinning away. Hey Marcia, how you doing?
It's best to say it's a busy time for me because I'm working, but for you I have to take the time out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm good, I can't complain. And my motto is, if you complain, who is there to listen? Because they will have more to tell you than you are already going through.
Right. It's true. Everybody have a story. And it's not to say that anybody's story is any more important than someone else's. But everybody has a story.
Yes.
Now, so, Marcia, you are today's secret ingredient in the Saturday Stew on Reggae Global Radio. And I thank you for taking the time out to hang out with us. What have you been up to lately? You've been in the business for quite a while, and I'm going to have you tell the people how long a while, because I really can't tell just by looking that you've been in the business for this long a time. It doesn't really show on you. But what have you been doing lately And when was it that you got into the business?
Well, let's see. I got into the business at the age of 6.
See, all I asked
courtesy of my mother.
all I asked you to tell us is how long you been in the business. Now you got to tell us when you started in the business. Now, when we find out how long you've been in the business, you're going to be telling your age. So, but
Not necessarily, you know.
okay, let's see you navigate this one. So, you've been in the business courtesy of your mother from your age 6.
Yes.
And
we first started in as a dancer, performing arts. But my mother tried to put a group together, which was the 4 of us.
your siblings?
Siblings, of course.
Gotcha.
And we was going to be a singing group. But that fell through the waters. That did not. As quick as it take off, it was quick as it went down.
Okay, what caused it to not materialize?
Well, my father had a brainstorm idea and said that, why don't we have the children learn to play instruments?
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, my father visited a club called the 4 Aces, and he saw a band playing there. And he says, my children them can play better than this. Make I teach them. And my father is not a musician. My father is a chef.
So all right.
The musician is actually my mother.
All right. So how was your father cooking up this one?
I can't figure it out to this day. But you know what? The part my father played in was more of a manager.
Okay.
And when it comes to being a people person, that was my father. He gets his little, cachet case and put papers in there, like saying really have real contracts in there, which he didn't have. But he walk into, and he used to tell me this story, and he would walk into the club owners them and talk to them and says, hey, I see that you're looking for some live entertainment. I have a set of children. He was like, my father put me in the mind of Joe Jackson when I was watching the movie, the American, the one for Michael Jackson, telling the story.
Yeah. And
when I was watching it, I said, my goodness, it put me in my father reminded me of Joe Jackson because I saw him the Guan. Same way. Very serious with the business aspect of the music. And he says, I overhear a conversation he had with my mother one day, and he says, you worry about singing, make me worry about the music, make me worry about the business and getting the boys them paid. And that was it.
That's right.
Yes.
So wait, it was all boys and you the only girl? Your siblings?
In siblings, it's 7 of us.
Oh, wow.
3 boys and 4 girls, including me. I'm the youngest.
Okay. Go and wash belly.
Yes. But I take my mother's craft, which is singing.
Yes.
And also my grandmother as well, We used to love to sing and play music, guitar.
Right.
And apparently my father saw more of a broader view.
Okay.
Started to, recruit members for the band, which consist of my brother's, my eldest brother. He had a friend of his that played bass. from college days.
Okay.
So he drafted him in. And then he found another friend of his that played keyboard. So he drafted him in. And then a youngster that went to school with my eldest brother, my second eldest brother, and found out that he can play saxophone, and he drafted him in.
That's right.
And he started drafting all of even the next door neighbor, which was my good friend. He found out she can sing and play the keyboard. He pulled she in as well, and he pulled the brother into. So basically, my father just said, you know what, to get the kids them off the streets and to give them something to do, get some instruments, and they pretty much self-taught themselves. They came with the gift that was given to them, and and that's how it birthed the band that my father put together.
Where did all this happen? Was this in the US, in Jamaica, in the UK? Where was all this?
It was in the US, New York.
Got you.
19 hold on.
Oh, see, I was waiting. I keep watching, I want to know how exactly you're going to navigate all of this. All right, so
just remember, I know my ways.
All right, so this by this time now, I'm assuming you're somewhere around about 10 years old. So
yes,
somewhere between 6 and 10 years old, right? Okay, cool.
About 10.
So you move from this point of your father envisioning this family band to come and knock the Jackson 5 out of the park, which didn't quite happen, but something was brewing.
No.
But something was brewing.
Yes. We actually, before we actually performed at a nightclub, the same Four Aces that my father was went in to interview, and to see if we can get a show. We actually was in the basement of the house, the basement for 5 years, rehearsing non-stop.
Oh wow!
3 days a week.
Wow.
And that's including going to school. When you finish school, right down the basement. We must get about an hour of playing outside. And I'm not being extra about it. I'm being serious.
How long that went on?
My father was very serious.
That basement. How long did those basement practices go on for?
5 years.
Wow.
Before we actually went and started to get shows. Then we started with the Four Aces Club.
Yeah.
And then is when we meet up with a lady from WLIB, called Edna Severite. And she is, not only was she a radio host, but she also was a promoter.
Okay.
She was responsible for bringing in different artists like Tyrone Taylor, Dobby Dobson, Don Blue, Pat Kelly, and the list goes on.
So you got to sing on the same stage as these guys?
Singing backgrounds, yes.
What you saying? All right, so now we're getting into something now, and people don't get too comfortable in it, because this is not a whole autobiography. It's just snippets of Marcia J. Ball. If you want more, you're going to have to. All right, tell you what. Let me know if you want more. I'll arrange it for the night shift and have her on. So I'll have 90 minutes can talk, but for now it's just a snippet. All right, so here now you get a little bit of exposure to some of these top artists from back in them time. You mentioned Dobby Dobson. Dobby wasn't last week. So
yes,
when you got a chance to be on stage with these guys now, was there any one of them that you managed to get an appearance with that it was like, I just want to sing with this person. I wish I could sing with this person. Was there any such person that you were saying that and then it happened?
Well, you know what? It never was like that for me because I guess I was too young to really comprehend what was going on around me until when we perform on stage and we saw how the audience was like, whiling, and we were like, wow, these artists are really big. Like Jimmy Riley, for example.
Yes.
We did a show with him, and we was blown out of the waters by seeing how the audience was interacting with him.
Right.
And the same with Pat Kelly.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And that's how we get to understand that these guys are large. They're big into the business.
Right.
These guys are famous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you didn't get the starstruck kind of a thing, interacting with these guys. It was just, okay, so we're doing backup for the next artist. Well, supporting vocals. And
yes.
and it was afterwards that you realized the levels that you were actually performing at. Which means you didn't know your talent until afterwards, looking back at it.
Exactly. Because that's what I was. I was only doing backgrounds. So I didn't know the full extent of where where I was going to be heading to. I was told when I did one or two times they would feature me, Marcia, come sing a tune,
Right.
And when they realized, they said, you sound like, and I said, who? You sound like Marcel Griffith. And it kind of stuck on me. And the one who would tell me that was Cornell Campbell. And he said to me, you sound like Marcia Griffith so much. And then they started to call me Little Marcia Griffith. And I said, wow. And that name stuck on me while I was in New York.
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to actually sing with Marcia Griffith?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And the way I met her, we were supposed to meet. We were supposed to do a show with her in New York, 1981. It was around the same time that Bob Marley had passed.
Okay.
And that show was cancelled because I can't forget, the whole of New York was quiet in that time when Bob passed. It like New York stopped because New York was like almost like a regular for Bob Marley,
Right.
At my junior high school that I was going to, he was playing soccer. And all the little pitney, including me, I run out there and I said, who is that? No, Batman? Yes. That's when I got starstruck.
Wow.
Yes, but it was a very quiet time. And to pay homage to him and to respect his, respect the fact that he had passed, and the show had to cancel.
Yeah.
They canceled the whole show. So when I finally get to really meet Marcia was through John T. I know John T from quite a long time. and he says, and he's the one that also told me, because he met me at a club called I forget the name of the club, but they used to call it the 27, the church.
Okay.
And it was a band that was playing there called Surfside. And they were having talent night where you will go up on stage and showcase your talent. And I went up there. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine told me, say, go up there and sing, man, because, you know, you'll probably win some money or something. So I said, all right. So I went and started to sing with the band, and John T was in the audience. I didn't even know. And how I get to know who John T was through the radio. Because I used to listen to WAVS, you know, back then.
Right.
And you say, you know who you sound like? And here it comes again. You sound like Marcel Griffith. Because I practice her songs.
Okay.
So I end up sounding like her, you know, when I mean sounding like her, have the same type of melodious sound. Yeah. So what happened is John T said, I can let you meet her in person, you know. And I said, really? Are you serious? And he said, yeah, man. And he said, Marcia, I'm a good friend. As a matter of fact, you know, we go a long way back. And I said,
that's true.
Okay. Okay, I will do that. And he said, all right, let me set it up.
Right.
And Marcia was having a show. It was called at the time Razor's Palace. And after the boxer named Razor
Ruddock.
And yes. And he had a club over by the corner of Broad Boulevard, I believe. And Marcia was doing a show there.
Yes.
And she wanted some background vocals that night. John T says, I know of somebody perfect that will fit what you're looking for. John T brought me to the club, and he says, them asked me to, as a matter of fact, them asked me, the bandsman, them say, what song you know of Marcia? And it's John. Little I know, Miss Griffith was listening. She was in the behind the club, sitting in the car. Okay. I did not know this. The song that I started to sing was I'm Hurting Inside. And when I turn around, is she standing there now? Shaking her head. Shaking her head.
Loving it.
And she says, I couldn't believe John T until I come here and see and hear for myself.
Wow.
That's wow. And I'm telling you, at that moment, I felt like if the earth could have, you know, opened up and something. But I'm not telling you, no lie. I felt like, whoa. I thought it was going to be a greeting where he would just, you know, Marcia, I would like for you to meet Marcel Griffith. No, you don't do it like that. Shock me.
Wow.
But you know what? It was a beginning of a wonderful relationship, because I ended up being her background vocalist for the next 15 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Novelty is saying hi to you and said she went to that Marcia Griffith show at Razor's place.
Okay. How you know?
So, you know.
Sweet girl. And yes, Novelty. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Novelty is quite a sweetheart. And big ups to John T, who is also a member of the Reggae Global radio family. John T is on Reggae Global from 2 to 4 every Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m.
Yes, I listen to him. Yes.
Yeah. So
I catch him when I can, because, you know, I'm busy, Lord.
Yeah. So what you got to sing with Marcia for 15 years. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because that means you were all
Extremely.
over the place, all over the world, literally.
Yes, yes. I mean, I've learned so much from her. Apart from my mother, she was like a second mother to me, you know,
Nice.
because I was quite young when I met her, and she became like a mother hen. She just, you know, took me in and say, "You ready for this?" That's all she said. "You ready for this?" And I said, "Well, I've been doing it for quite a while, so
If you weren't
Make
ready
I
before,
try.
you're ready now.
exactly. And let me tell you something, Miss Griffiths, she is a perfectionist.
Yes.
Everything have to be on point with her. The vocals have to be on point, rehearsing. So I got that privilege to work with the Queen of Reggae for so long, and developed a relationship with her. You
Yes.
know, she taught me a lot, and that I will keep as a treasure for the rest of my days, the rest of my life. You
Nice.
see,
When did you start recording your own tracks?
1990, I started recording.
Well, that wasn't yesterday
I
either.
did only backgrounds in 19. Oh, long again. But my first single was in 1990 called "Tell Me." Was produced by my brother.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm gonna bounce some of your tracks that I have when we get done talking in another couple of minutes.
Okay.
But you've worked with a number of big names in the business,
Yes.
and I don't know. It might seem like some name dropping, but I'm gonna allow you to name drop tonight and just tell us some of the other names that you've worked with. You mentioned Taras Alfonso, you mentioned Darby Dobson, you mentioned Marcia Griffiths, which is a big deal. Drop some other names, producers and artists alike.
I've worked with Sugar Minott, Dennis Brown, the Cool Ruler,
Gregory.
John Holt. I shared the stage with John Holt.
Nice.
Shared the stage with Julie Mowat, Colleen Davis. Wow. Let me see if my memory will serve me correctly and I don't give up on me. But I've worked with the Israelites.
You see, this is what happens when you've been in the business for a while, and you've worked with some of the big names in reggae music. You can't quite put your finger on it with who you had worked with, and then when you start listing them out from the top of your head, you end up missing out some. When you're writing them down on paper now, that's something else, because it gives you an opportunity to go
Yes.
over and pinpoint a time in your life when you remember when this happened? Yeah, and I ended up having to sing with. Yeah, I know how that goes. Only too well with talking with other artists. What are you currently working on right now? Anything in the works?
I've done a tune with on an album called Lovers of Love, produced by the one and only Sidney Mills, and everyone should. I believe he's been affiliated with Steel Pulse for a number of years.
Yes.
And who else is on that album I share with is with Roger Nye and Eugene Gray.
Please bless up our Roger
and Glenn Washington.
Yes.
Yami Polo. Sophia Brown. You know, and the list goes on. The album is a great album.
Yes.
And I sent you a couple, you know.
Yeah. I got them. Thank you much. Thank you much. I'll be bouncing them in after the top of the hour. We take a hard break on Reggae Global Radio. And I say sayonara to Facebook Live. Y'all are going to have to jump over onto Reggae Global Radio to hear some of these Marcia J. Ball tunes. Who's that with you? I know. So I hear somebody whispering in over there. You know.
He well knows, you see. It's the one I know.
All right, Jedi.
The one and only.
All right,
Jedi.
Bless.
I come to you, you know. You're
just had
next.
to pull me in.
Just had to pull you in. He wouldn't be DJ Kevin straight enough. Oh.
I got you, alright, tonight. You can't hide, you know. You're going to be up in the stew pot. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Saturday stew waiting for you, alright, tonight. Saturday stew waiting for you.
Yes, sir. No problem. No, I'm looking forward to it.
Alright, bro. So,
Bless.
Marcia.
Yeah.
How can people find you?
Don't pass up in my business. No.
No, but I hear the whispering, you know, and I recognize the voice in the whispering, you know. I recognize it. I don't know if anybody else hears it, but I hear it. So.
And he was trying to be quiet, you know.
Feel. That's what happens when you have good devices. It pick up on the sounds.
But you know what? If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. So you have to have fun wherever you go.
Exactly. How can people find you, Marcia? Social media contacts, email. How can people find you?
Well, first and foremost, I have a PR and a manager. Name is Conroy Lawrence out of Lewisham, London. And he is on he can be reached on selectac@gmail.com. They can also reach me over on Facebook, Marcia J. Ball. And the reason why I put the J and I emphasize on the J, because there is another Marcia Ball out there who is a Grammy Award winner. She's a blues singer.
Gotcha.
I can't say if there's any kin. I don't know. I won't get into that. But that is the reason for the emphasizing of the J.
Right.
Because if you type in Marcia Ball, you're going to get her. You're going to get this white lady. And you're going to say, but wait, I'm a Marcia Ball.
Right.
No. So that's why I put the J. So Marcia J. Ball, you can find me on Google. You just Google my name. And I'm on Instagram. I try my best to stay active on Facebook and interact with, you know, close friends and fans who also been, you know, following my music.
Right.
I try to stay in, you know, and they can also, you know, I'm on iTunes.
Yes.
It's quite a bit. It's I know I need to be a little bit more
well, you see, that's
stronger
the joy
in telling where I am. But
that's the joy of having one particular location where people can actually reach you and that you can point them to others, you know. So that's the joy of it. And you know, it's not like you're not active on social media. If they find you on Facebook, you interact with them. If they find you on Instagram, you interact with them. So it's not like you're not reachable. And
right, no, I'm very much reachable. They can, you know, I can be found on those, you know, pages, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, Google Music. I'm on iTunes. I believe I'm also on Spotify. Yeah. So you know, it's quite a bit. Yeah. It gets extremely.
Yeah, the list goes on. The list goes on as you continue to grow.
A big platform.
You clearly have been growing since you were 6 in the business.
Yes.
And you have not stopped because hits coming out, tunes coming out, a couple of collabs coming out. Bless up our Janai, I can't leave you out. Brethren and sisters.
Yes.
You know, so yeah. And people will understand when they hear me say these little phrases, when I play some of the tunes, they'll get it. It'll connect to them. So, Marcia, thank you very much, very, very much for taking the time out to join us in the Saturday Stew and be the secret ingredient for today. Reggae Global Radio, I know you're familiar with it, but don't be a stranger. Jump into the chat room every now and then. There are a couple of people in there right now saying hi. EK is in there saying hi, Marcia. Hi, Orajanai.
Wow.
Yeah, Melly.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Yes.
That's a PK.
And you all know Melly, and Melly has a show now.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you have to catch down with the
Definitely
roots.
Get a
Down
link
to the
in, and
roots,
because
yes.
Miss Joanna Marie, she blow up my page. And me have to definitely, I have to love her,
Yes.
We know each other in the business for so long.
Right.
So bless up to her and to Reggae Global family, because I don't say radio, I say family, because it is a global family. We are connected from wherever we are connected.
Definitely that. And
yes.
So I'm going to bounce through some of your tunes, and not in any particular order. I'm just gonna bounce through some of them that I have. So if you can stick around and on the radio side, I know you're out on the road and you're busy and thing.
Yes, I will be listening. Trust me.
Yeah, jump in, say hi in the chat and stuff. So Facebook Live, all you friends, family members, enemies, friends of enemies, enemies of friends, and friends of friends. Deuces to you over there on Facebook Live, because I'm going to start playing some tunes, and you know how Facebook stay with them algorithms and thing. So, not going to really work out. Come on over to Reggae Global Radio for the remainder of the broadcast. Call your friends, tell everybody. We up, we live. Marcia, thank you very much. Enough love. Arajanai, enough love, brother. Wanna take care.
Respect. Bless up.
Blessings, man. Take care. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll talk some more. Alright?
Give thanks, Kev. Blessed all the while.
Alright, enough love.
We'll be talking with each other too. We'll be talking with each other soon.
Oh yeah. You know it go. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Blessings.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marcia J. Ball hanging out with us as the secret ingredient on the Saturday Stew. I tell you never quite know who's going to be seasoning the stew pot on Saturday Stew, so you just got to be here.